Hey, Dr. McNamara here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about core training, but more specifically, abdominal training. Now, the abdomen has many different layers, and it has on the outermost layer the six-pack, the rectus abdominis, and then underneath that, it's going to have our obliques, which consist of the external and internal obliques. We'll work those guys together, and then the innermost layer has the transverse abdominis, which wraps all the way around and invests into the lower back and plays a major role in stabilization of our lumbar spine. So we'll start with the six-pack rectus abdominis and we'll go from there. So a great way to work your six-pack is just doing simple sit-ups or crunches. The only thing that we could add to it is getting a little bit more extension in our lumbar spine, which will help get more eccentric contraction of that rectus abdominis, which will improve our strength and improve our gains. So to perform that, you can get a Bosu ball. These are perfect. But if you don't have one, what you could do instead is just take some pillows and put it underneath your lower back while you're performing sit-ups. But essentially, all you're going to do is perform a simple sit-up, going into full extension into that concentric portion. Okay, so as you can see, I'm really getting a lot of lumbar spine extension, which is what we want to get those eccentric contractions to really improve our abdominal strength. Now, for the obliques, what you could do is obliques are responsible for rotational type of movements. So for beginners, one great way I like to start is with this exercise. And what you'll do is you'll kind of get in this figure 4 position, and then you can just put the other arm down to stabilize. And with the opposite arm as the leg that's up, you're going to go up into a crunch and then rotate. That rotation is going to isolate those obliques, okay? And then you can do that on both sides as well. Another way to work obliques, which is very simple, is just grab a weight or just use your own body weight. And what you're going to do is you're going to tap each side, rotating in the core. This really targets those obliques. Great way to strengthen those and build thoracolumbar rotation. Now, the last exercise we're going to work on is for the transverse abdominis. Now, you can perform the key concentric portion of this exercise by doing what you did when you were a kid, when you would suck in your stomach to make yourself look as skinny as possible. That's going to concentrically contract the transverse abdominis. But what's more important for stabilization, particularly when we're picking up objects, things like that, is the eccentric portion of this contraction as well. So for this, we want our transverse abdominis, which wraps around like a belt, to expand and hold that contraction. So for this exercise, what I like to do is to make little L's with your fingers, go about belly button height, and see if you could push your belly out, kind of like when you were a kid and you would try to make like almost a pregnant looking belly or a protruding belly. Try doing that. Try to make your fingers move. And then once you make sure your fingers move, make sure that contraction is nice and hard. After that part, we're then going to move to the lower part of our transverse abdominis. So find those bony parts on the front of your hips. Those are the anterior superior iliac spines, ASIS for short. Go just inside of those and do the same thing. Make your fingers move, and then make sure that's a nice hard contraction. Now, this last one's the hardest, and a lot of people have difficulty doing it, but give it a try. You're going to find the posterior superior iliac spines. Those are those dimples on our back that many of you have that many of you will call back dimples. And what we'll do for that is you're going to go just inside those, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make your fingers move, okay? And when you can make sure that moves, make sure it's a nice hard contraction, that means you have great neural control of your transverse abdominis. So when you're going to lift things, anything that requires stabilization of the spine, you're going to be good to go. Guys, if you like this information and you want to learn more, please like and subscribe for more health and wellness. Thank you.